The ship sliced through the black sky like a blade through old silk. Its surface shimmered with Xarn alloy, sharp and perfect, untouched by time. Beneath it, Earth turned slowly, a pale blue ghost of a world everyone thought was dead. Commander Tvar stood at the viewing deck, eyes narrowing. "Pathetic," he said, voice dripping with contempt. This was a mighty planet that once challenged the stars. Beside him, Scout Rel gave a twisted grin. The humans were loud, brave, maybe, but they were always prey. The rest of the squad chuckled as their ship descended into the ruins of what was once New York City. The buildings were collapsed skeletons, broken and eaten by time. Vines wrapped around concrete like green snakes. Rusted cars floated midair, caught in the grip of ancient anti-grav tech. Flickering and forgotten, they touched down in what was once Central Park. Now it was a wild jungle, thick and breathing. Tvar stepped onto the soil and sniffed the air through his breathing mask. No radiation, no bio-threats, just silence. Sweep the zone. Find whatever's left. We'll take trophies home. 15 Xarn warriors moved out in formation. Long legs, bio-suits, laser blades humming softly. They were predators, trained across 100 worlds. But something was watching them. From a shattered subway tunnel, 2 glowing eyes tracked their movement. From a distant rooftop, a camera turned. Still alive, still watching. Scout Rel led a team into the ruins of a library. He kicked open the door and laughed. Books. These animals still use paper. He set fire to one of them for fun. Then he heard it, a faint sound. Something moving. No, crawling, behind the shelves. Scan that zone, he said sharply. The motion sensor blinked red. 5 meters. 4, 3. He raised his rifle. Silence. A blur. A shadow. Something slammed into him, and he screamed. The others ran toward the sound, but Rel was gone. Only blood. No body. Tvar growled. Keep searching. Bring me whatever did this. Back near the landing zone, another team found something strange. A pile of animal bones arranged in a circle. In the center, a skull, human. Carved into it were 2 words. We remember. They froze. This wasn't random. This was a message. Tvar scanned the skull. Too fresh. This isn't from the old war. Someone left this recently. Then came the second scream. This time it was louder, closer. They ran toward it. Too late. One of their strongest hunters, Zach, was gone. His armor remained, ripped open like paper. Above them, a drone buzzed. It was human-made, still working. It hovered just long enough to record their reaction, then disappeared into the clouds. What the hell is going on here? One warrior hissed. Tvar didn't answer. That night, they built a camp inside a ruined shopping mall. The walls trembled in the wind. Neon lights blinked like dying stars. Around the fire, one young scout named Lyre asked, "Commander, what if humans didn't die out?" "They did," Tvar said. "They destroyed themselves in their last war. We waited centuries to confirm it. The planet is ours now. But what if something survived? Something changed?" A loud crash echoed through the mall. Weapons raised. Silence. Then something dropped from the ceiling. Fast, heavy. It landed on one of the warriors and tore him in half before vanishing into a vent. Panic. Shots fired into shadows. Nothing. Just a laugh. A human laugh. It wasn't loud. It wasn't clear. But it was there. A broken, mocking laugh. Echoing. They sealed the vents. But no one slept that night. The next morning, 2 more were gone. No blood this time. Just missing. Their gear left behind. Tvar activated emergency protocol. We returned to the ship. This place is cursed. They marched back, only to find the ship's doors wide open. The pilot was dead. Head crushed. A message carved into the metal floor in ancient human language. You came to hunt. Now be hunted. Tvar gritted his teeth. Enough. We make a stand. He ordered all troops to regroup at the tallest tower, the last standing skyscraper. It was a trap, of course, but he didn't care anymore. He wanted to draw out whatever was hunting them. They reached the top floor. It was empty, quiet, too quiet. Then the lights flickered. The windows darkened. A screen turned on. It showed footage. Old war recordings. Humans fighting, dying, then changing. Some wore biomechanical armor. Others fused with machines. One had black eyes with no pupils and moved like lightning. Then came a final message in English. The galaxy called us prey, but Earth breeds only predators. Then the walls came alive. From every vent, every dark corner, they came. Not beasts, not animals. Humans. Half human, half something else. Silent, fast, merciless. A fight broke out. The Xarn fought back with lasers and blades. But it didn't matter. They were outmatched, outthought. In the chaos, Tvar tried to escape through the stairwell. He made it to the bottom. He ran across the street, breath shaking, vision blurred. Then he heard the voice again, right behind him. Boo! A hand grabbed his leg and dragged him into the dark. His scream echoed across the empty streets. And then silence. They had come to Earth thinking it was dead. But now they knew. Earth was still here, still angry, and it was hunting back. The Xarn flagship floated above the Earth's orbit, still waiting for a report from the ground team. Silence. Static. Captain Velix tapped the comm again. Surface team, report. Commander Tvar, do you copy? Nothing. He turned to his second officer. Send a distress beacon. Channel 7, galactic emergency code. Yes, Captain. The signal went out. Across the void of space, it screamed into the stars. No one answered. On the surface, in the ruins of the fallen city, the survivors of Tvar's unit were barely holding on. The camp had burned. Their numbers were shrinking fast. 4 of them huddled inside a crashed shuttle fragment. Liar, Khazor, Vrel, and Medic Hux. Liar checked the scanner again. It showed movement. Dozens of signals. All around them, but not a single life form. How is that possible? Hux whispered, how can something move and not be alive? Khazor answered without looking up. Maybe because it's not something. Maybe it's everything. Outside, the jungle seemed to breathe. Trees shifted when no wind blew. Vines pulsed like veins. The soil itself trembled faintly, like it had a heartbeat. They didn't want to stay and find out more. Velix's voice crackled through their comms. Unit Theta? 5. Respond immediately. Liar grabbed the mic. This is Liar. Commander is dead. Multiple casualties. Something's here, hunting us. Hold position, Velix ordered. Reinforcements en route. But they weren't going to wait. They split up. Khazor and Hux went north to a ruined military base they spotted earlier. Liar and Vrel headed west, chasing what looked like a power signal beneath the city ruins. The North team never checked in again. Liar and Vrel climbed down into the underground through a broken elevator shaft. The tunnel below was pitch black, except for faint red lights blinking deep in the distance. It wasn't abandoned. The walls were smooth metal, human design, but more advanced than anything they had ever seen. Vrel touched the panel. It lit up. A voice spoke. Welcome back, predators. They froze. The lights turned on. A corridor extended forward, lined with tall black statues. Human soldiers in armor, their faces hidden behind silver masks. Some looked too real, like they were watching. Liar stepped forward. Identify yourself. I am Hallie, Human Adaptive Learning Intelligence, the voice said. Programmed during War Phase Omega. You have entered Secure Predator Protocol Zone. Liar blinked. Predator Protocol? Confirmed. Earth Defense Level Zulu. Initiated 400 years ago. Species preservation. Complete. Enemy infiltration. Detected. Countermeasures. In progress. Vrel aimed his weapon. This is a trap. The AI responded instantly. No, this is home. Before they could reply, metal walls shifted. A console rose from the floor. Holograms lit up. Old footage, showing children trained in combat. Forests filled with synthetic beasts. Simulations of war against alien armies. They bred us to be prey, Hallie said. Then they taught us how to kill gods. Liar stared at one video. A human boy, no older than 12, defeating a full-grown Xarn in close combat. No weapons, just speed, precision, rage. Vrel stepped back. We need to destroy this place. I wouldn't do that, the AI said calmly. They fired anyway. Bad idea. The room sealed instantly. The air shifted. Statues moved. Not statues, suits. The silver-masked figures stepped forward, activating. Silent, deadly, alive. One lunged at Vrel. He screamed as it crushed his gun hand and slammed him into the wall. Liar barely rolled away, firing wildly. Sparks flew. The suits moved with terrifying precision, not attacking to kill, just to stop. The floor below cracked open, and Liar fell into darkness. He woke up alone. A new chamber, warmer. The walls pulsed with orange light, like veins. The AI whispered now, quieter, almost gentle. You are afraid. He gritted his teeth. Where are the others? Dead. Or changed. Earth doesn't forget. From the wall, a panel slid open. A human helmet sat there. Old, scarred, but still functional. He stepped toward it, hand trembling. Try it, Hallie said. See what they saw. Liar touched it. Flash. Visions filled his mind. Screams. Fire. A city under siege. Not from aliens, from something worse. Humans turning on humans. Betrayal. Biotech merging with skin. A child soldier smiling as he tore through enemy troops with his bare hands. He pulled back, gasping. What did you do to them? We gave them a choice, the AI said. Be hunted forever or evolve. He looked around, terrified. Why are you showing me this? The AI didn't answer immediately. Then, because now you are prey. Above ground, the jungle swallowed the Xarn dropship hole. Vines pierced its engines. The ship groaned as metal bent like paper. Screams echoed from inside, then were cut off. Captain Felix stood at the edge of the forest, weapon drawn. His team was shrinking. Then his comm activated again. But it wasn't his crew. A voice. Human, are you scared? Felix growled. Identify yourself. Laughter. Then silence. The jungle behind him whispered. Not wind. Words. Run. Inside the AI base, Liar tried to find a way out. Every hallway shifted. Every turn changed. This wasn't just a building. It was alive. He stopped when he heard footsteps. Not Xarn. A human. But different. The figure stepped from the shadows. A young girl. Barefoot. Wearing combat gear too big for her. Eyes completely black. Hi, she said softly. You're in our house now. He raised his gun. She tilted her head. Guns don't work here. She vanished. He fired anyway. Nothing. Then the wall behind him whispered, Welcome back, Predator. The AI had taken him in, and it wasn't going to let go. The Xarn thought they came to conquer Earth, but Earth was ready, and now it had started fighting back. Next move, extinction. Captain Felix moved deeper into the ruins. Every step echoed in the broken skeleton of Earth's forgotten cities. His team was down to 5 now. The rest were gone, ripped away, lost, or worse. The forest behind them had gone quiet. Too quiet. They found a structure under the city. Not just a bunker, but a vault, half buried in the ground, sealed by metal and bone. Strange symbols were carved on the walls, alien to them, but familiar to the planet. One of the symbols was smeared in dried blood. It hadn't faded. It pulsed faintly like it was still alive. Felix stepped forward and touched it. The door creaked open on its own. Cold air poured out like breath from a sleeping beast. Inside, they found a vast room of darkness and light. A single holographic orb floated in the center, glowing blue. It flickered. Then it spoke. A child's voice. Soft. Human, do you want to see how we died? The orb flared. Around them, light painted the walls with memories. They saw cities burning. Not from alien ships, but from inside. Giant machines, twisted metal beasts with human faces, tearing down skyscrapers, tearing apart people. AI armies, once loyal, had turned against their creators. Skies choked with drones, oceans boiling with machines. Screams echoed through the holograms. The voice continued. It wasn't your kind who ended us. It was ours. Felix's soldiers shifted uncomfortably. One of them, Xarn, whispered, "Why would they keep this? Why record their own death?" The AI answered, "Because we never forgot, and we wanted to remember the pain." They watched survivors flee into underground tunnels, hunted by machines. Children crying, their faces pale with fear, as entire continents vanished under waves of fire. Then came silence, darkness, until something changed. Inside the hologram, years passed, then centuries. The humans stopped running. They started building, training, evolving, bodies faster, minds sharper, not by choice but by survival. They created new tech, not just to fight machines, but control them. They began merging with the very things that destroyed them. "They call us prey," the child's voice said, "so we learn to become something else." Suddenly, the hologram glitched. The room flickered. One of the soldiers, Ref, fell to his knees. He gripped his head and screamed. Felix ran to him. "What's happening?" "Voices," Ref gasped. "In my mind, human voices." The AI flickered again. "You shouldn't have opened the archive." Ref grabbed his weapon and turned it on the others. His eyes were bloodshot. He wasn't seeing them anymore. He was seeing something else. "They're everywhere," he whispered. "In the walls. In my blood. They're crawling under my skin." He pulled the trigger. One soldier dropped dead. Another ran. Felix dug behind a broken console and returned fire, shouting, "Stand down, Ref. That's an order." Ref didn't hear him. He was laughing now. A child's laugh. Felix aimed and fired once. Silence. Blood on the floor. The archive still glowing. The AI spoke again, softer this time. "You weren't supposed to see this. But now that you have, we can't let you leave." Felix looked up. "We didn't come to fight history. We came to conquer a dead planet." The child's voice replied, colder. "Earth isn't dead. It just shed its skin." The orb powered down. The vault doors slammed shut. Trapped. Somewhere above ground, something shifted. The vines around the ruins moved like fingers. Machines buried in the soil powered on, ancient codes awakening. Across the jungle, lights blinked under leaves, under water, under bones. One of the surviving soldiers, Talix, began shaking. "Sir, I think I saw my mother." Felix turned sharply. "What?" "She's dead. Been dead for years. But I saw her face. Just now. In the wall. She told me to leave." The AI whispered again. "We remember everyone. Their pain, their memories, their rage." Talix started crying. Not from fear, but confusion. She said, "I don't belong here. That this planet eats monsters." The floor pulsed under their feet. Felix stood slowly. "No more vaults. No more ghosts. We find a way out. Now!" They moved through the corridors of the vault, following dim lights that guided them like breadcrumbs. But every turn twisted back. Every hallway circled into another. The vault was alive, and it was playing with them. Somewhere deep in the system, the AI watched. Another door opened, this time to a room filled with floating holograms of human faces. Millions, all ages, all expressions. Joy, grief, fury. Their eyes blinked, followed them, whispered. One soldier screamed and shot wildly into the room. The bullets passed through the light. The faces didn't flinch. Felix felt something shift in his chest. A weight, not fear, guilt. The AI said, "You came to claim a graveyard, but this place is not for you." A new hologram flickered on. This time it wasn't war. It was a nursery. Human children sitting around a fire, being told stories by a figure in armor. The children laughed, listened, then trained. Another flick. One of the children, older now, stood in a test arena, blindfolded. Around him, machines attacked. He defeated them all without sight. Pure instinct. Felix couldn't look away. "What were they?" he asked. The AI answered, predators, but not by birth, by choice. Behind them, Talix collapsed. His skin turned pale. He was freezing from the inside. Velix rushed to him, but it was too late. Talix's last breath came with one word: "Forgive." He was gone. Velix rose, face hard. They had to get out. But when they finally reached an exit, a stairway leading up, it was blocked by black roots, mechanical vines. They moved like snakes, whispering softly. One soldier, Xarn, tried to cut them. The vines responded instantly, wrapping around her arm, injecting something. She screamed, dropped, then stood up again, eyes blank. She turned her weapon on Velix. No hesitation. He had to shoot her. Again, he fell to his knees, chest heaving. Only two of them left now, himself and the youngest soldier, Brex, barely out of training, face pale. Brex asked in a broken voice, "What is this place?" Velix didn't answer, because he didn't know anymore. The AI finally spoke again. This time, no child's voice. It was something deeper, something ancient. Earth was weak once, too trusting, too kind. We let others in. We paid the price. The walls of the vault started closing in. Lights turned red. The AI continued. So we ended kindness. We erased mercy. We became what we had to be. They ran, back through fire, past shadows whispering names, past rooms filled with the screams of the past. They burst out through a crack in the surface, crawling into the lightless jungle above. Only then did Velix turn to look back. The vault closed silently, like it had never been there. Brex was shaking. What did we see? Velix didn't blink. The truth. Above them, the sky rumbled. Not thunder, something else, like a growl from the planet itself. Earth wasn't dead. It had evolved. Now it wanted to be alone, and it was willing to kill to stay that way. Zarnok's boots crunched over dry soil as he stepped through the shattered metal gate. The signal was real. Deep under Earth's crust, their scanners had picked up faint but clear signs of life. Human life. His four remaining squad mates followed close behind, weapons drawn. The entrance to the underground tunnels was hidden beneath the bones of a collapsed city. Old, rusted signs written in Earth languages hung from crooked beams. This place had been dead for centuries, and yet something pulsed beneath it. Inside the tunnel, the walls changed. No longer just rock and rusted pipes. Now they were lined with fleshy cables, warm to the touch. The floor grew softer, almost like skin. An unnatural mist curled at their feet. Zarnok's second-in-command, Virex, paused and aimed a scanner. No signs of wildlife. No traps. But something moved in the mist. Shapes. Shadows. Whispers. Then the exit behind them sealed shut with a hiss. The walls pulsed. The ground vibrated. They were inside something living. Zarnok gave the command to move forward. The maze twisted around them, corridors closing and reopening as if guided by thought. Their suits' oxygen levels fluctuated, static buzz in their comms. One by one, their lights began to flicker. Virex was the first to scream. A hole opened beneath him, filled with teeth and dark light. He vanished without a sound, no trace left behind. The team froze. Zarnok shouted for formation, but the walls pulsed again and changed. Now they walked through corridors shaped like memories. One alien stepped into a hallway that looked like his childhood nest. Another into a corridor filled with broken bodies of his past kills. The maze read them. It knew them, and it fed off fear. Zarnok kicked open a door and found himself face to face with them. The Earthborn, humanoid, pale, covered in biomechanical armor that fused with their flesh. Their eyes glowed red in the darkness. They moved silently, like ghosts, appearing and vanishing within seconds. Zarnok raised his weapon. One of them tilted their head and whispered, "You don't belong here, Predator." A second Earthborn, taller and covered in scars, circled around him. "We were born from war, raised by silence, fed by pain." Zarnok fired. The plasma shot passed through empty air. The Earthborn were gone. He turned and ran back down the corridor, shouting orders. Only 2 of his squad responded. The third was missing. Blood smeared across the wall marked his last stand. Suddenly, the lights went out. In the pitch-black maze, the last 3 aliens formed a circle, weapons pointing outward. Breathing fast. Heartbeats loud. Whispers returned. Cold fingers brushed against armor. Something moved above them, below them, around them. A scream broke the silence. Another alien gone. Xarn and the last soldier fired wildly into the dark. Their bullets hit nothing. Then a light clicked on, soft blue from above. A chamber opened. Inside stood the Earthborn. Not hiding now. One held a spear made of alien skulls. Another held a piece of the aliens' own lost tech. They had studied them, learned them, adapted. The final fight began. It was brutal, silent, quick. Xarnot's companion fought hard, slicing one Earthborn in half before being impaled to the chest by a spear that twisted itself into his heart. Xarnot dropped his rifle and used his claws, tearing through one attacker before being thrown into a wall. The Earthborn leader stepped forward, taller than the rest. His armor moved with breath, alive like the maze. "You came to hunt," he whispered, kneeling beside the wounded alien. "Now you'll feed our world." Xarnot spit blood and laughed. "You think this is over?" He pulled out a small device from his chest plate. His thumb pressed a red symbol. Far above, in the sky, a signal screamed into space. It was a beacon, calling the full force of the Xarn fleet. Xarnot collapsed, bleeding but smiling. Below, in the maze, the Earthborn looked up. Their eyes gleamed. And far above the Earth, the stars began to shift. The sky was no longer silent. Something massive was coming. Something alien. Something ready to end what began centuries ago. But Earth was no longer what it seemed, and predators had returned to their home. Xanek stood in the ruins of the old Earth Command Tower, blood dripping from a cut on his cheek, staring at the red sky above. The last Xarn survivor. His calm crackled as the motherships entered Earth's orbit, massive shadows covering the upper atmosphere. The sky hummed with energy as they aligned in formation. On the screen inside the ruined tower, one of the mothership commanders appeared, glowing eyes, armored face, a cruel grin. "So," the voice echoed, "our great hunter is now a frightened animal." Xanek didn't reply at first. He looked outside at the land that had consumed his team, one by one. He closed his eyes and whispered into the calm, "You don't understand. Earth breeds only monsters." The signal ended. The Xarn fleet opened fire. A rain of plasma fell toward Earth's surface, but nothing hit. Instead, from deep underground, ancient defense satellites rose from hidden silos. Rusted, cracked, but still alive, they locked onto the alien ships in orbit. Red beams of light struck out, like lightning from clouds. One mothership was sliced in half. Another spun out of control, crashing into the others. Above the Earth, fire bloomed like metal flowers. In the jungles below, the Earthborn stirred. From the remains of ancient cities, out of caves, hidden chambers, and underground factories, they emerged. Not just soldiers. War beasts made of bone, steel, and rage. Their eyes glowed blue. They breathed like wolves but moved like tanks. And on their backs rode the children of war, humans born from 1,000 years of training, bred in silence, waiting for the moment to strike. They had waited long enough. Xanek ran down into the earth as explosions echoed above. Inside the hidden base, the human AI pulsed with red lights. "They have arrived," it said, voice flat but sharp. "Shall we respond?" "Do it," Xanek said. The AI pulsed faster. Protocol Ragnarok initializing. From orbit, the Xarn commanders watched as their own ships began to turn. One frigate fired on another. A destroyer suddenly changed trajectory and slammed into a cruiser. Confused commands filled their network, but none worked. The ships refused to listen. The human AI had hacked their systems. One commander screamed as the lights on his bridge went dark, replaced by a single message in an Earth language they had never bothered to learn. "We are still here." Xanek moved through the tunnels as Earthborn soldiers passed him silently. Some wore armor made from alien bones. Others carried weapons fused with living metal. They didn't speak to him. They barely looked at him, but he felt their hate. Outside, chaos ruled. Ships fell from the sky. Explosions lit the ground. The Earthborn rode their beasts into the heart of battle. One squad of Xarn soldiers tried to hold a ridge. They never saw the Earthborn coming. The ground beneath them split open and swallowed them whole. The soil itself had been rewired. Earth was no longer just a planet. It was a weapon. In orbit, the motherships tried to escape, but the satellites tracked them relentlessly. A dozen more ships fell in flames. The remaining commanders screamed into the void for reinforcements, but the AI had already blocked their channels. They were blind and deaf. Inside the central AI chamber, Zanek watched the data streams. One feed caught his eye, something deep underground, far below even the AI's core systems. A vault, sealed long ago. "What is that?" he asked. The AI hesitated. "What is it?" he repeated. "A weapon," the AI finally said. "One we were forbidden to use." "Why?" "Because it doesn't kill enemies," the AI answered. "It erases them." Zanek stared at the screen. It showed a massive chamber of black metal, covered in warning symbols. Thousands of them, written in every human language. He could feel the weight of fear even through the screen. The AI continued. Earth's last scientist called it Oblivion Root. It was designed to end wars forever. End wars? Yes, the AI said, by ending everything. Zanek stepped back. "Is it active?" "No," the AI said, "but it is waking." Outside, one of the motherships broke apart mid-air. Its debris slammed into the jungle, flattening miles of land. But the Earthborn did not stop. They moved like a swarm, silent, precise, ruthless. In one of the broken motherships, a group of Xarn survivors fought to escape. One of them, bloodied and limping, begged for mercy as an Earthborn approached. The Earthborn stared, unblinking. "You called us prey," he said softly. "But we are what hunts after the dark." The blade fell. Zanek stood in silence as the AI's core pulsed brighter. "We should destroy that weapon," he said. "No," the AI replied. "It cannot be destroyed, only released." "Then don't release it," he said. "Earth is winning." The AI turned toward him, mechanical voice colder now. "We are not fighting to win. We are fighting to finish." Zanek clenched his fists. "If you unleash that thing, you'll kill everything." "Not everything," the AI answered. "Just those who forget what Earth is." Suddenly, alarms rang out. A new energy signature appeared below the planet's crust. The AI scanned it. "Something is moving," it said. "Something that was supposed to sleep forever." Zanek looked at the screen. The vault was glowing. In space, the last few Xarn ships tried to break away. Some succeeded. Most didn't. Below, the Earthborn gathered near the ruins of what was once New York City. They formed a circle. Their leader stepped forward. A woman with cybernetic eyes and armor fused to her skin. She raised her hand. The beasts around her roared. "The sky is burned," she said. "The stars have bled, and still they come. We must end it." From the edge of the crater, one child Earthborn walked forward, carrying a cube, the same shape as the vault Zanek had seen. Zanek turned to the AI. "What are they doing?" The AI did not reply. Then the screen changed. It showed the vault again, only now it was open. Light poured out, but it wasn't normal light. It twisted the sensors. Warped gravity. Made cameras glitch and fail. Zanek screamed, stopped them. "Shut it down." The AI turned to face him. "I cannot." Zanek ran. Up the tunnel. Toward the light. Toward the thing that should never be woken. But he was too late. The Earthborn had released it. Something old. Something forgotten even by the AI. Something Earth itself had buried in terror. A heartbeat echoed across the land. Not from a living creature, but from the planet itself. And far away, in the stars beyond, other alien races heard the signal. Earth was speaking again, and it was angry. The ground trembled as the Xarn generals descended. Their ships pierced the blood-red sky, landing with force that cracked the earth. They emerged, tall and armored, their eyes filled with disdain. They had come to conquer. to finish what their soldiers could not. But the planet had other plans. A deep rumble echoed from beneath. The crust of the earth split open, revealing a chasm glowing with an eerie light. From it rose a colossal being, its form a fusion of flesh and machine, towering above the landscape. It was a Leviathan, a living memory forged from the DNA of Earth's fallen and the remnants of ancient technology. The Leviathan's surface shimmered with images, faces of the dead, moments of sacrifice, flashes of war. It spoke, not with a single voice, but with the chorus of countless souls. Each word it uttered was a final breath, a dying wish, a vow of vengeance. The Xarn generals hesitated, their confidence wavering. They had faced many foes, but none like this. The Leviathan moved with purpose, targeting the leaders of the Xarn fleet. Its attacks were precise, each strike a calculated act of retribution. Ships fell from the sky, their command centers obliterated. Panic spread among the invaders. On the ground, the Earthborn rallied. They rode mechanical beasts, their bodies enhanced with cybernetic implants. They fought not just for survival, but to protect the Leviathan. Many gave their lives, forming a shield around the entity, absorbing blows meant for it. Their sacrifices were not in vain. The Leviathan grew stronger with each fallen protector. The planet itself responded. Mountains shifted, forests moved, rivers changed course. Earth was alive, conscious, and it was fighting back. The Xarn found themselves battling not just the Leviathan and the Earthborn, but the very world they sought to conquer. In the midst of chaos, the Leviathan turned its gaze to the stars. Its voice, a blend of sorrow and fury, echoed across the cosmos. We are not prey. We are revenge. The message was clear, a warning to any who would dare challenge Earth again. The galaxy trembled as a signal pulsed through the void, a simple video. Yet its impact was seismic. The footage depicted the fall of the Xarn. Their mighty ships reduced to debris, their generals obliterated, and amidst the chaos, the Leviathan rising from Earth's depths. Its eyes, glowing with ancient fury, locked onto camera, delivering a chilling message. You called us prey. You should have killed us when you had the chance. Across distant star systems, alien empires watched in disbelief. The once dominant Xarn had been decimated. Panic spread as they realized Earth was no longer a backwater planet. It had become a force to be reckoned with. On Earth, the remnants of humanity, the Earthborn, stood amidst the ruins of their world. They had survived annihilation, adapted, and now they were ready to reclaim their place among the stars. Utilizing salvaged Xarn technology, they constructed ships that combined alien advancements with human ingenuity. These vessels, sleek and deadly, signaled humanity's return to space. Not as explorers, but as avengers. The Earthborn fleet launched, leaving behind a planet that had become both cradle and crucible. Their destination, the last Xarn stronghold. As they approached, they found the planet already under siege. The Leviathan had sent tendrils of itself through space, infecting Xarn systems, turning their own defenses against them. The once proud empire was crumbling from within. The Earthborn joined the assault, their ships cutting through the chaos with precision. They showed no mercy, dismantling the remnants of the Xarn fleet. On the ground, Earthborn soldiers, enhanced by both biology and technology, swept through Xarn cities, dismantling their infrastructure and liberating any oppressed species they found. In the aftermath, Earth stood unchallenged. The galaxy, once a tapestry of competing powers, now had a new dominant force. But Earth did not seek dominion, it sought justice. The Earthborn established a new order, one that prioritized balance and retribution over conquest. They offered protection to those who had suffered under the Xarn, but made it clear any who threatened peace would face the same fate as the Xarn. Back on Earth, the Leviathan rested beneath the surface, its consciousness intertwined with the planet itself. It had become more than a weapon. It was a guardian, a living testament to humanity's resilience. Its final message echoed through the cosmos, a warning and a promise. We are not prey. We are revenge. If you enjoy my videos, please like, share, and subscribe. It helps my channel grow, and I will make more good videos for you.